Number 5, under sequences, write down the first 8 terms of a sequence defined by un equals to 2 un minus 1 when u1 is 3. So the rule or the formula is given by un equals to 2 un minus 1, and that u1 equals to 3. So we are given the first term already, so we need to find the next 7 terms. So our first term u1 is given as 3. Remember, when you are given something in the question, they are certain that you will use it somewhere. Now we have our first term already u1, and we need to find the second term u2, and even we don't know the pattern of the sequence. So as I said earlier, we just need to adhere to the given formula. It will tell you a lot. So since we are given the first term, how do we get the second term? So our second term here, we know that is u2, where n is 2, right? N is just the position 2. So the number in position n equals to 2 is the second term. So we simply come back to this formula, and where you see n, just put 2 for the second term. And here now we shall have u2, because n is 2, equals to 2. This is of the formula of un. What is my n? My n is 2. Minus 1, right? This gives me here 2 u. What is 2 minus 1? 2 minus 1 is 1. So the second term u2 is twice the second term u1, right? But what is u1? u1 is here. u1 is 3. So here we just come and say we shall have 2 times u1, which is 3. Therefore our second term is 6. That is our second term u2. Yes. How about the third term u3? So for us to get the third term u3, we know that n is 3. So we follow the same formula here. u3 becomes 2 u3 minus 1, because our n is 3 here and also here. So here we shall have 2 of u2, right? Because 3 minus 1 is 2. So the third term is again twice the second term, because u2 is the second term. So we substitute now for u2. So we shall have 2. What is u2? u2 is 6. And therefore our third term here is 12. So therefore u3 is 12. That is our third term. And then the fourth term, following the same criteria. Fourth term, that is u4, where n is 4, right? Yes. So you come back to the same formula, and where you see n, substitute for 4. So our fourth term u4 becomes 2 un. Our n is now 4, but minus 1. This gives us a 2 u3, right? So the fourth term is 2 times u3. What is u3? u3 is 12. So 2 times 12. And then you press your calculator and you get 24. And therefore your fourth term is 24. And then you continue up to, remember we are looking for the 8th term, so we continue up to the 8th term. So we have done the 4th term. Let me do my 5th term here. Term u5, n equals to 5. You can pause the video and work it out first. So our u5 becomes, using the same formula, we shall have 2 u5 minus 1. This gives us 2 of u4. 5 minus 1 is 4. So the 5th term is 2 times the 4th term, which was 24. So 2 times 24, it gives us 48. So the fifth term is 48. Then we go to the sixth term. That is U6, for which n is 6. The same criteria. We shall have U6 equals to 2, U6 minus 1. That is the same as 2 of U5, right? And our U5 was 48, so we shall have 2 times 48. Then you press the calculator. 2 times 48 is 96. So our sixth term U6 is 96. Yes. Then we go to seventh term. We are almost. That is U7, where n is 7, right? So our U7 equals to 2 U7 minus 1. Following that same formula above, this gives us 2 of U6. And then you press the calculator. That is 2. Our U6 is 96. What is 96 times 2? Let me press my calculator. I'm getting 192. 192. That is U6. Sorry, that is U7. Yeah, that is U7. U7 is 2 times U6. Yeah, that is U7. And finally, our eighth term, which is the last term that we were asked to find, that is U8. Our n here must be 8. Therefore, our U8 becomes 2 times U8 but minus 1. This is the same as 2 of U7. U7. Therefore, 2. What is U7? U7 is 192. So 192 times 2. Calculator. 384. That is what I'm getting. Press yours. 384. So the eighth term is 384. So that is basically how you can follow a given formula or a given rule to find the requested or the asked number of terms. After getting your terms, then you conclude. Most teachers just look at your final answer to figure out what you possibly did. So the first 8 terms are, what was our first term? 3. It was given. So we have 3, 6. So we have 3, 6, 12, 24, 48, 92, and 96. 96. Please, you just come back and copy 192 and then 384. So these are the first 8 terms that are defined by the given pattern or the given rule or the formula. Otherwise, this is the end of example 5. Your tutor here and the channel Vision Plus.